Donna LJ.
And it's your girl, TayDigga.
And you're tuned into
Indie High Radio. Woo!
What's up, everybody?
Yes. What's good, y'all?
Yes, this is so exciting.
It's been a minute.
Episode 5. Yes, it's been a minute. It's been
an actual minute.
Yes. Yes, we missed you guys too.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
we are so happy to be back. And
I know, man. This is
coming
home.
back in a big way, though.
This is home.
And so I'm excited to come back in a big way. You know, we never cease to amaze with our guests.
Absolutely.
We
always have the best of the
very
best.
Impactful, amazing guests who are on their grind, on their hustle. So this is going to be a great, exciting episode. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Yes. And we're going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
Hello, everyone. I am Tarika Sullivan. I am the creator and owner of Black Girl Magic Tours, which is Atlanta's guided luxury mural crawl for brown girls. And essentially what we do is we gather 12 Black women together and we cruise around the city and we stop and view and celebrate murals by Black artists that highlight and spotlight Black women.
Amazing.
Have some connection to Black women, and we engage in conversation and discussion on board a luxury sprinter. And of course, we have this discussion over melanin cupcakes and a few beverages that are quite delicious, like Black Girlini. Something sparkling and sweet and bubbly.
I love it. Yes.
Man. Like, where did this idea come from? Because it's just so...
amazing. And unique.
That's what the word I was looking for. It's very unique.
Thank you. So, when people ask me that, I have to really reach and dig into where did this really originally come from? So originally, a few years ago, like 10 years ago, when the natural movement began, a lot of people were returning to natural, and I was trying to capture this as a blogger.
Okay.
So I had a natural hair blog.
Gotcha.
And I was looking at this movement. I was looking at not so much at how people were styling their hair, but this social political movement, and how people were how women were thinking about their hair and how they were thinking how beautiful they were, right? So I was blogging about just how people were looking at the mirror and seeing themselves.
Yes.
And at the same time, I was working on my PhD. I was working on my doctorate. And it came to a point where I was like, I cannot continue to blog and go to all these natural hair events and finish my degree. I got to, one's got to give.
Yeah.
So I decided I'm going to put this blog on hold. It's going to be on the burner. And I'm going to focus on my PhD. I finished my PhD. My dissertation was an examination of Black women's experiences in education.
Come on, somebody.
So I went from Black women's natural hair to Black women in classrooms, right?
Yes.
Black women leading classrooms in education. So when I finished my dissertation in 2015, the natural progression for me was just to continue with Black women.
Right.
Yes.
And so in 2020, life slowed up, right?
Absolutely.
For everybody.
Kind of shut down.
Yeah.
The country shut down, and we were seeing a lot of violence against Black people. It was like open season on Black people.
Yeah.
And I wanted to create a space where Black people could go be free and be happy, particularly Black women. So that is why I started to think about all of the things that I love to do. I love to go see murals.
Yes.
I love Black women, and I love conversation. So put those three things together, and that is how Black Girl Magic Tours began.
I love it. Now that is beautiful.
That is a story.
That is a beautiful story.
A beautiful journey too,
Yes.
Thank you.
how it unfolded. So it was just perfect.
Yes, that's perfect. Now, we want to get to know who you are. We know what you do now, but who are you? So give us a background into your upbringing and, how that made an impact on, you even starting the Black Girl Tours.
I like that question. How did who am I? What's my background? All right, so first things first, I am the daughter of West Indian parents. So my father is Guyanese, my mother is Jamaican.
Yes.
I was born in New Jersey, and was like I am the product of heavy West Indian influence, heavy American influence, living in New Jersey, right? So that's me. And I'm also someone who, growing up, my mother was very adamant about like pro-blackness, just very pro-black. Like, I don't care what people say to you. I don't care what your skin looks like. We are pro-black, right? And all of my experience, like I went to a historically black high school. I went to a historically black college. And my mother just instilled in me, you know, you just to be an activist. She didn't articulate that, like, she didn't say, Tarika, you have to go be an activist, but
she gave you those tools.
She gave me
it
the
was
tools.
insinuated, right?
It was like,
she gave you those tools.
do something. And she would just like, she'll watch the news and she'll be able to unpack like, oh, that's racism or that's white supremacy, you know. That's her. And so I think I've just kind of picked that up from her, and it has always just kind of like guided me to be who I am right now. Outside of my business, I also am an educator, and my work is in anti-racism.
Yes.
And like I name that, in it, like the work I do is for Black children to be just give everything that we need to give to Black children.
That's right.
So that they can be successful and achieve.
Right.
So that's me.
That's beautiful.
I love that.
Look, power to the people. Okay?
Hello.
Yes. No, I love it because, you know, our backgrounds play a big part in who we are. You know what I mean? And
for sure,
you being raised in that environment was pretty much like the stepping stone to
where you
the
are now.
amazing things that you're doing today. And the beautiful thing is, for one, I commend you for having PhD because that's like huge. Having a doctorate, that's awesome.
Thank you.
And then also for giving back. And that's what being Indie High is. Being Indie High is being high on your God-given talent and sharing it with the world. And you are the full capacity Indie High, like all the way. So we love that. And, you know, when I first met her, because both our dads are artists, and when I first met her, you know, she just has that it factor. You know, you like, she's somebody, you know, but she was very also business oriented. She had her business cards on deck. She had her flyers on deck. She was very like, this is what I do. Check me out, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, but it was, like, she made an impression to where I was like, you know what? She would be perfect to come on the show. And knowing our backgrounds and stuff, I was just like, oh, you know, this will be dope. And I already knew, I'm like, she's a creative. You know what I'm saying? I could just tell.
Just tell.
She had that look. So, you know, we are honored that you are, you know, that you come on the show. And we're definitely happy to shed light on the amazing things that you're doing. Because that's huge.
Yes, it is.
Now, coming to the South from, like, I know you went
from Jersey.
You know, I know you went to, like, you know, school up north and all that. But when you came to the South, and especially speaking of racism and all this stuff, because, you know, down here is very, it's very blatant. It's not.
Right.
Well, I'm sure you're
not like
coming from Jersey to Alabama for school.
Right, for college, right.
Yeah, we went to school in Alabama.
Yeah.
It was, I guess you could say it's a culture shock because it's like, okay, so Alabama being a red state, I remember like going around and seeing people with mullets, their hair's down, and overalls and pickup trucks, and you didn't see pickup trucks in Jersey at the time, or at least I don't remember seeing that. Like pickup trucks, like everybody has a pickup truck, like the whole family has one, like the teenage daughter has a pickup truck. I just didn't see that in Jersey, so it was just like, oh, it's really different down here. Everybody shops at Walmart down here.
That's the country.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Cool, I'm with it. I mean, I never got with the pickup truck, but I definitely will be at the Walmart or whatever. But yeah, it was just different. And then moving to Atlanta, I realized I loved Atlanta. Like this is a beautiful city, and it was the first place I'd ever lived where, you know, you see people who look like you in positions of power. So you see a black woman you can see a black woman mayor here across Metro Atlanta, right?
Right.
You can see black women superintendents and leading school districts. You see a black woman physician, a black woman orthodontist,
Right.
A black woman gynecologist. Like, you see a black woman dermatologist. I have a black woman eye doctor.
Yeah.
Like,
That's awesome.
this is what you have in Atlanta. And so
Yes.
Atlanta is really special. Outside of Atlanta, you can drive an hour and a half south. Totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different,
Completely.
right? And so I've been an hour and a half south, and I've seen the Confederate flags, and I've seen
Big flags.
right, just, and I'm like, wow,
Flowing.
we are
Waving over the
waving
highway.
in the wind, right?
Like, I dare you to get off this section.
no, for real, like,
Ah.
The
you
plant
know?
station is the gas station.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
bold.
So it was definitely a shock. You just, first of all, Confederate flags is something of the South, but I never really saw it in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Maybe in books. So to see it, it was like, I think one of the first times I saw it, I was really taken aback, and I kind of just looked at it for a while, like, wow, somebody really has that symbol of hate there. And you can call it what you want. You can call it a symbol of heritage, but we know what it is.
We know
what it is.
what it is.
We know what time it is.
Point blank, period. So, when was the first time you saw like your first mural here in Atlanta?
Okay, so I can't think of the first time, but I am
Maybe one that kind of like it was like, wait a minute,
yeah.
that
So
caught your attention.
Hey Brown Girl, You're Beautiful
Oh, yes.
was one of the first murals that I saw that I was like, oh, that is just, I could sit here and look at this all day.
I love to drive past them.
Let me hop out the car. Let me park, and then let me
Yes.
hand my phone to someone so they can take a picture of me
Right.
in front of this. It wasn't until I would actually see a number of murals, and I would stop. Like, I would always stop
Okay.
driving and park my car and take a picture in front of a number of murals. Right. It wasn't until I was on I love to travel. I was on a trip somewhere, and a friend of mine was as we were coming back from that trip, a friend of mine had a layover in Atlanta and said, Tarika, I know you're about to leave the airport, but I have a layover that's like 4 or 5 hours. Take me somewhere. Take me somewhere. Give me a dope Atlanta experience. So I was like, cool, say less. So we jumped in a car, and I actually, before the experience was ever
Right.
like on paper and conceptualized, took this person around the city and we just connected to every mural.
Wow.
I took them to about
Yes.
6 murals and connected to all of them. Talked about why I loved each mural, how brilliant it was, how vibrant it was, a little bit about what I knew about the artist. And at the end, they were like, this needs to be like an Airbnb experience. Like, I'm pretty sure somebody would pay to do this.
Right.
And I was doing this in my car.
Yeah.
So that is where I
Where
began.
all birth-
I started thinking, like, maybe I could do this.
Yeah.
And this was in
Right.
2019. Maybe I could do something like
Yes, it
this.
is.
So fast forward sometime later, a friend of mine who has a Sprinter, I was expressing to him how much I wanted to start this. He was listening. He didn't say anything. I was just talking
Yeah.
into the phone. He was listening, and at one point, I almost wondered if he was still
Right,
there.
like,
He was
hello?
like, yeah, like, hello,
I get that.
Charlie, you still there?
Can I get something?
And he was like, he had listened to me talk about what I wanted to do, and he was like, do you have a website? And I was like, no, I don't have a website. He was like, get a website, gather a group of friends. We're going to do a run of show. Run of show? Like, he was like, yeah, you just need to, you do your part, and I'm going to make sure you have the transportation to do this. And we have been writing ever since.
Wow.
Over 2 years.
That's
Over 2
awesome.
years,
That
yeah.
is so awesome.
Just the flow of things.
Just the
Right.
flow. When it's
alignment.
Yeah.
when
alignment.
it's your time and turn to do something, it happens.
Yeah.
Right?
It happens. I love it.
That is super dope. man.
That is like, for one, I just love that it was an idea. It was just someone pretty much like propositioned you, like, look, I'm coming to Atlanta. I need you to show me the hot spots. Like,
And you
show
did
me.
something that you love.
And you were like, okay, I got you. You know, but you were able to think of that on your own. And then you're like, and they were so impressed that they're like, yo, you should like
should
really
be
do this.
something for real.
And then, wow. And you did.
That's it.
It's
And
beautiful
that's
how an
fun.
idea can just
Yes,
blossom into
blossom.
Right. Like you can think about what's so crazy is you can think about something one day
Mm-hmm.
and you can write it down. You can get in your notes app
Yeah.
on your phone and just kind of jot down what you want it to be, and you can share it with the right person. Share your
Right.
ideas with the right person,
Makes a difference.
and to see the progress and the transgression, the just to see the progress of it is like wow, and then to have someone like a stranger slide you some money and say, I want to do that. I want to do what you had an idea in your head, and I want to slide some money in your pocket because
To fund it.
right to fund it, or I want to
Be a
participate,
part of it.
right?
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
wanna be
just
a part of it.
amazing to me.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised when strangers send me money. Like, okay, they spending money with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then if you check out like the Instagram page for the Black Girl Tours, it's like everyone just seems like so happy. Everyone
mean,
is glowing.
It's the
Like
sisterhood
you
for
can
me.
tell, yes, it's the sisterhood. You could tell everyone just had like an amazing experience. Everyone was loving it. Everyone was taking it in. So it's like you really are brightening people's day. And in a world where Black people, we have so much against us, you know, like we have to fight for joy. Joy is not
Right.
natural for our lives, you know, generationally.
Yes.
So it's like we have to fight to smile, fight for peace, fight for this and fight for that. So for you to offer something that's like, hey, let's celebrate each other. Let's celebrate this. Let's celebrate being women. Let's bring women together.
Yes.
That I think is huge because there are a lot of women in the Black community.
Who
it's
don't.
the crabs in the barrel, like I always say, but it is. And we have to come together. There's power in numbers. There's power in community. And what you're doing is just like your idea was spark. Now you can like branch off and do even more with that. You know, you can have tours in the top cities.
Right.
You can do so many different things and you can expand it. And it's like you birthed this.
And
You
the
know what I'm
sky's the
saying?
limit.
And all the right people are drawn to it. The people who are meant to be a part of it will. Just like
Right.
that person was like, I believe in this. You do your part, I got you. So I think that that's beautiful, you know, when we can walk in our light, when we can do what we're supposed to do, but also to just give some light to the community
Right.
in the times when we need it most.
Absolutely. I'm big on community, and that's why I think when people see the Instagram, right, they see the murals, they see the pretty pictures, or you might follow on TikTok and you see all, you know, see these videos. But what we don't really publish on social media is the actual interaction that's going on the van, on the
Yeah.
Spencer van. So it gets intimate, it gets
Yeah.
deep, it gets emotional. Like when we
Right.
start connecting on a really emotional level, and we are connecting even though we don't even know each other.
Right.
So the tour is about 3.5 hours, and so we start with introductions, but then we start moving into some questions that really get people thinking and talking.
Wow.
And they're strangers, right? So yeah. So
That's
that's the
that's
part
beautiful,
that
man.
It is.
it's really about building community. And so
And that's something that Black women need to do more of. You know what I mean? Just like you were saying, it's just something that we need and that we might be missing within our community. Just Black women, period. You know, because we go through so much and we go through so much.
yeah, that's why I was really adamant about creating a space where it's like celebration,
Right.
joy.
And you feel
Yes.
safe to even open up and, you know, just let it go. Be free with each other.
Be
so
free, smile,
right.
experience
And have
joy.
fun, you know?
Now,
So I love it.
on the other side of you, PhD doctor, you're teaching the kids, and that also is giving back. You know, that also is you giving back to the community. How has that been, just like to have your doctorate and to be able to share your gift in that way? Like, how has that impacted you?
You know, I am really happy with. I live a really fulfilling life. So I'm in school improvement. I support schools. I support a number of schools across the country, right? So during the week, I'm traveling to different schools, supporting kids,
That's
right?
awesome.
Supporting leadership teams, supporting educators, supporting teachers.
Okay.
That is very fulfilling work. Very fulfilling. And then to turn around and be able to start a business as an entrepreneur where I can see Black women smile and exchange joy with one another.
Yeah.
I'm living my best
Good.
life. I'm living my best life.
Yes.
It's a great feeling. It is a great feeling to know. Like I think about what I'm leaving behind. Like this, I feel like I'm leaving a legacy of just.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
That's good. I love it.
Of Black Girl Magic, that's what you leaving.
Black
Right.
Girl Magic.
Leaving your mark, girl.
We always love
so grateful
when
Thank you.
People can share, like, we call it like jewels or just like some gems, just some
to leave with the listeners.
Yeah, to leave with the listeners, like just something powerful for the people to
reflect on
Yes.
and think on
and from the heart, and just like even if it's something that inspired you, it could be a quote, it could be 3 words, but just whatever it is, like something that you can share, that you can leave with the listeners, because we want them to really get a feel of who you are. And then after that, we're going to let you shout your businesses out so everyone can follow you and all that. But what can you leave us with to kind of like carry on in this life?
Yeah. So I'll probably leave it with 2 things.
Yes.
And that is, if you are interested in doing anything outside of your job, if you're ever interested in doing something outside of your 9 to 5, and you want to become an entrepreneur, I would say choose something that you are really passionate about, something that you could spend endless time talking about, something that you could do for free.
Right.
Because essentially, I could do this every day for free. Black Girl Magic Tours is something I am so excited to do. So think about what brings you joy. Think about what you're passionate about and follow that.
Yes.
And you will never work a day in that industry or in that field.
I love it.
And then my next gem would be get started. Like I talked to so many people who have
these
every
ideas, yeah.
have a barrier set. Like they have a problem for every solution. A problem for every solution. Like whatever you tell them, I can't do it. I got an excuse. I got a barrier. I got an obstacle. And so start where you are and just do it. And it doesn't have to be perfect, right? You can build and get better along the way. It's just about getting started.
Yes.
And yeah.
I love it.
That's major.
I love it.
That's it.
Because you are successful, so
Yes.
we
Thank
can
you.
really take that. And for any of our listeners who are striving to follow their dreams and they're questioning it, let this be your sign. Follow
Get
your
started.
heart. Get started. Because once you start doing what you're meant to do, everything else will fall into place.
Yes, it will.
Soon as she saw what she was supposed to do, everything else fell into place. And like she said, just get started. That's if anything else, get started. I love it. Well, this was an amazing episode. Now we want people to be able to like follow you, support you, experience this, donate, whatever they can do. So please let us know how we can follow you, check you out, social media, websites, anything.
And yeah, I appreciate you. So you can find Black Girl Magic Tours on IG at Black Girl Magic Tours with an S, Black Girl Magic Tours. You can find us on TikTok, Black Girl Magic Tours. You can find us online, blackgirlmagictours.com. All the things, Black Girl Magic Tours.
I love it.
And we are sold out through the end of the year.
Come on.
Period.
Yes, sold out through the end of the year. However, and we don't run tours in January. It's just a bit too cold. So the next tour is in February that has available seating.
Come on,
so,
booked and busy.
Come on.
Yes, I love it.
Come on and book. So join us in February.
Look, you see them tickets is a hot commodity now. You better get it while it's hot now.
Yes, it's an experience.
I love it. Yes.
So thank you all.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on.
Yes.
And enlightening us.
Yes.
And we can't wait to experience the Black Girl Magic Tours ourselves.
I know. Like, we got to get it.
Let me go get my
February. February.
We sneak on the bus.
We got to get it right. But no.
There's the waiting list.
No, we have to get her on Indie Streets.
Oh, yeah.
So we
But
can
I
bring
that
her
would
back
be
every
dope.
now.
Definitely got a spot for y'all.
That would be super
Yeah,
dope.
we would love to have you on our other show too, Indie Streets, where we can actually film the experience,
Right.
and
Ooh.
so they can get that in the bus, vibe and how that goes. Like that'd be dope. So we're just gonna do that. How about that?
Yes.
We'll go ahead and claim that. So I love that. And Tay, how can people check us out?
Well, I haven't done this in a while.
I know.
Like,
It's been a minute.
well, it's like you can find us on all the socials, Indie High Radio. Radio spelled R, the number 8, DIO. That's Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook, it is Indie High Radio LLC. Make sure to like the page. And then if you want to hit the website, One Stop Shop, you can check out the podcast, gear, all of that on the website, www.indiehighradio.com.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And make sure to subscribe.
Absolutely.
Yes, and like
Tell
we
a friend
say,
and tell a
tell a friend and
friend.
tell a friend. I love it. Yes. This has been another great episode. Shout out to all of our subscribers and listeners. Don't worry, we're going to keep some great content coming as always. Always make sure to check out all the other amazing podcast episodes that we have as well. But this one is another great one for the history books. It has been an honor and a pleasure, Tarika, to have you on. And however we can support you, we're down.
I'm grateful for this invitation. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, this has been another great episode. This is your girl, Donna LJ, signing out.
And it's your girl, TayDigga.
Woo woo.